I just can't seem to stay away from ratty Suzukis. Somehow, they always find their way back into my life. It was the Turbo Hayabusa, it was the GSXR-250, and now it's my new to me 2009 Suzuki GSXR-600. You might be saying, yeah, why the hell do you have a Suzuki GSXR-600 as a race bike, a track bike? Didn't you have a Daytona that you spent a bunch of time and effort and energy into? I did, and this is the very long and crazy story of how I have a GSXR-600 and it doesn't even work right. Let me take you back to February of 2024. Okay, February of 2024, what was I doing? I was downsizing my motorcycle fleet. I said, dude, I got way too many bikes. This is getting to be a headache. I don't even ride these things anymore. Let me just get rid of these things. So I started chopping them one by one by one by one. The Desert Sled was the only bike I couldn't let go because I was just too emotionally attached to it. My Daytona, man, I had beat the crap out of it. I used it for 4 to 5 years on track, raced it, sprint raced it. I did so much with that bike. And I was really like, you know, I'm not even really doing track days that much right now. At the time, my wife was pregnant. We were expecting our first daughter in June of last year, which she arrived, everything's cool, all gravy. But I wasn't really doing track days that much. I was living in Austin, and I was like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to make it up to the track that often. Let me just get rid of this bike. I'll get something else later. Time goes by, we decide to move up to DFW. And I was like, cool, we're gonna be in DFW. I'll be 50 minutes away from the track. That's way better than 4 hours like I was before. And I was like, damn, I don't have a track bike. I should get another track bike. You see, this is how the problem starts, right? The mind just starts going back and back and back. So I jump on Facebook Marketplace and I said to myself, you know what? I always tell people on YouTube, get a used 600, just get a used 600. And I was like, I've never done that. I've always told people one thing and I did another. I've always owned stupid European bikes that are complicated and hard to work on and weird. I was like, let me just do a mousetrap on this, boys. Let me just get one that's just locked in. So this one came up for sale, $5,000, totally prepped up. The dude used it for CMRA for a bit, took it on track. It's got some nice bits and bobs, master cylinder, plastics, hoses. We'll go over the whole bike later in the video here. But I was like, cool, this is gonna be great. I brought the bike home November of last year. It's almost March now. You see the problem here, right? And so I brought the bike back. I started looking at it. I was like, okay, I just got to adjust the ergonomics a little bit. I just got to get the master cylinder bled. This is going to be easy. I took it around the block and it was working great. It shifted through all the gears. I got it up to, you know, at least like 50 or 60 miles an hour. It wasn't street legal. And so I was like, well, let me not go out and take it on the highway, obviously, because if I get pulled over, that's going to be a bad time. So I was like, cool, the bike works. Parked it in here. And I was like, all I gotta do is get suspension work on it and we'll be good to rip. And I was getting ready to make a bunch of cool videos with this bike, show you guys the process of owning the 600 and what it's like and blah, blah, blah. I took it to a shop to get the suspension done because I had a lot going on at the time. It was the holidays. We just bought a new house. I was renovating it a little bit. And I was like, cool, let me just drop it off at the shop. For whatever reason, the rear shock, the little rubber stop, had totally disintegrated and needed to be reordered. It could only be found in Australia. It took like 7 weeks to get here. And then this suspension work took like 2 months. It was not the shop's fault. There's just parts availability, right? The suspension work got done. I brought it back home. I did those ergonomics adjustments and I said, sick, let's go take it on track. So I loaded it up in my truck. I went out to the track. I had another bike that I was doing some stuff with there that you guys will see later in March. And literally the first session that I took it out on, I tried to go wide open on the back straight and it just went to about 10,000 RPM and just wouldn't really give me any more. And I said, huh, that's weird. The temp gauge was showing 260 degrees Fahrenheit. And I was like, well, that's quite hot. So either the temp gauge or the thermostat is making it so that the bike won't rev, or the bike isn't revving because it's so hot. I don't know the correlation causation there. So I've ridden this motorcycle all of 7 minutes on track. I didn't even put my GoPro on because I figured, well, I'm just gonna go warm up and then the next session I'll put the GoPro on. I didn't even get a chance to do that. So this bike doesn't really work. I've had it for 4 months. It doesn't really work. And I think the reason why is because it's copper and black, just like my old Turbo Hayabusa was. and that's why it doesn't work. It's some weird curse that I have with these types of Suzukis. So I wish I could show you some amazing track footage of me ripping this motorcycle, telling you about how a 600 is so great. I'm such a like 500 IQ 4D chess playing genius for buying a $5,000 600. But really all I have is this paperweight of a crap bike that I now need to fix. And that's what happens with bikes, man. That's what happens with motorcycles, is you go cheap with them, like I always do because I'm a cheap bastard, and then you end up with this paperweight that you have to drag along with a rope everywhere you go, and it's just like, help me, help me. It's like this senior citizen that you have to keep taking care of. It's crazy. It's crazy. I should have bought something newer. I should have just bit the bullet. But I did it. I wanted to show you guys how it's done. I wanted to show you guys that it could do the great things that it could do. And the funniest thing about all of this is that I'm now moving back to Austin. So I'm now taking this bike with me back to Austin. I'm gonna finish renovating this house and probably just sell it or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. But it's like, it's so cosmically funny that this is what's happened to me. That it's like I owe some sort of debt to the Suzuki gods, that I have to have a Suzuki that I take care of for some reason. I don't know why this happens to me. So the next steps for this bike is gonna be fresh rubber, because it handled like ass when I took it on track, because I think these tires are smoked, and I don't really like these Michelin Power Cup 2s anyways. And I'm gonna drop it off of my mechanic. I'm gonna tell him, hey, make this thing run good, baby. This is my old race mechanic for my endurance team. I'm gonna tell him, dude, make this bad boy run good, make it sing off the red line, just give it a good tune up, and let's take it from there. Cause it is a pretty good bike. For 5,000 bucks, it's a pretty good bike. It just needs a couple extra steps. You know, it's the fixer-upper of the motorcycle world. It just needs a little bit, and we're gonna get it to rip, baby. I promise you. I wanna show you guys what a 600's like, how fun they are, how great they are on track, and how you don't really need anything more than that. Let's do a quick walk around on this machine. Let's point out some parts, some cool stuff on it, and let's wrap this up, shall we? All right, boys, the almighty Jigster. So, as you can tell, already got the plastics on there. That's a big one. That lightens it up a lot, makes things easier. It's already got the quick release clips right here for the belly pan, which is what you wanna see for a race bike. Makes it really easy. It's got adjustable rear sets right here, which is nice. They're Vortex, which is a very nice brand. We like that. M4 exhaust, sounds pretty decent. The wheels are clean, no bends in them or anything like that. It's got the stock monoblocks on there, the Tokikos that the GSXR came with, pumped through a Brembo RCS 19, which is what you wanna see. Going direct to the calipers, that's the setup. No quick turn throttle on this. I believe this is just stock. It feels pretty good though, honestly. It's really not that bad. GPR steering, stabilizer, pretty good stuff. Vortex clip-ons, able to be adjusted. You guys can see that I already made it a little bit wider than stock. We measured it out, made it good. Of course, keeping it fresh with the Yamini brake reservoir cover. We do not sell those. Those are just for me and my giveaway bikes. Keyless ignition, so you hit that, bike starts right up. It hates starting up cold. It really does for some reason. I had to mess with the clutch bypass switch or whatever. It just despises starting up cold. So I'm not even gonna try starting it up because it hates it. As it was a race bike, it's got some nice safety wiring on it. I think most of the bolts that need to be safety wired are at least drilled and ready for it. They're not all currently safety wired, so it's not like totally ready to race, but yeah, it's doing pretty okay. Battery tender lead, that's nice for a bike that sits around. Samco hoses, baby. Those are great. That's the high quality part you want to see. That's the good stuff. Make sure the bike doesn't blow up. I love those. I put those on my Daytona. Those are great. You guys will see here, Motorbike Works in Frisco, Texas. Did the suspension on this bad boy. The previous owner was quite a bit larger than I was, so had to get that dialed in. New shock put in the back. Valving adjusted. Everything good on the front. Pretty nice setup. You guys see I've got a little reminder for the tire PSI, as I normally do on my track bikes. Gas cap, quick release, no key required, makes it easy, No quick shifter, this is just a direct rod, that's all good. This motorcycle is on stock gearing if memory serves me correctly. So I would say it's good, but I literally haven't even gotten a chance to try it because yeah, I literally did 7 minutes on the track and just limped it around because I couldn't rev it up. actually really, really funny. But the bones are here, boys. The bones are here for a high quality track bike, and I'm really pumped. I want to get this thing running right and rip it, because I don't want to just take out the giveaway bikes this whole year on the track, because that just feels like, I don't know, abuse on the giveaway bikes. Like, one session on the giveaway bikes are good, but I'm not gonna do like 3 or 4 sessions on each giveaway bike, because that's just gonna really nuke them. So that's basically it. I'm really excited about this bike. I hope that I have better news for you guys here, but because I've had it for like 3.5 months, I was kind of like, I have to make some sort of update with it, because this thing is just sitting around. It's gotta make me money on YouTube. I'm just kidding. Nobody should buy a track bike hoping that it's gonna make them any sort of income or revenue, because that's really not how it works. These are absolutely just designed to lose you money and time. It's just kind of funny how it works, boys. Kind of funny how it works. So expect a GSXR-600 update probably in like another month and a half after my mechanic gets this bike, after he runs through it and fixes it up and all that. And you might say, Yam, why don't you just fix it up? Why are you so lazy? Well, boys, I've got an 8-month-old daughter. I'm running a business. I'm selling a house. I got a lot going on, okay? Like, I'm flipping that house to sell it. So there's a lot going on in my life to where I really don't have the bandwidth to put this thing up on a lift and diagnose it and figure out all the problems and do the spark plugs and the coils and the fuel injection. Other people can do that for me at this time. Even though that would make for a fun series to show you guys why this thing isn't running correctly and how to get it running correctly. But stay tuned, gonna be a good one with the Gixxer. I'm excited for it. If you guys have any plans or ideas or concepts you wanna throw me your way about this Gixxer, let me know in the comments down below. Your sweet Yamcolite really does love reading those, and I love seeing people's memes about the silly stuff that I do here on YouTube. Thanks so much for checking out today's video. I appreciate it, and I love you. I love you, champ. All right, everybody, time is up. This video is unfortunately over, but head over to yammynoob.co while you're waiting for the next amazing Yammynoob video to queue up. Become a member, and you'll get access to win this Triumph Street Triple 765 RS. You're not gonna wanna miss it.